Okay, here we go. We're going to do our reading mini lesson here for you. I went ahead and I put together in this slideshow a little tutorial for you for the Google Classroom. Okay, so when you log in, you're going to go to your Google homepage. It's just google.com, and you'll see up in the corner the waffle. If you click that waffle, you'll see Classroom, and you're going to choose that, and then you'll see the different homerooms available. So you'll choose your homeroom, either Mrs. Cumming or Mrs. DeSellis. You'll also see which assignments are due for that day and what time. When you click on your teacher's homeroom over here, you'll see up at the top Stream, Classwork, and People. Stream is where you'll go initially. That's where you'll always end up. So you'll need to click Classwork. Then when you click on Classwork, you're going to see all of the classwork that is available for you that we need to do. So you are going to go into Stamina. And then you'll see the assignments. And if you want to see the assignment, you'll click on that top part right there, and then you'll get the instructions here in this middle section. And then if you are ready to complete the assignment, you're not just wanting the instructions, you'll need to click View Assignment. So here's what it will look like with a little bit more information. It's going to tell you the instructions here, and then it's going to let you know whether it's missing or not. So I have set deadlines for when assignments are due. If you don't turn it in at the time that it's due, it'll show up as missing, and that is also something that your parents will be able to see. You'll also see if there's like additional links or anything here. So this is where you'll see the Google form or a video that maybe I've shared with you and whatever else. And then you'll click View Assignment. And this is where you'll see, again, the instructions, the website attached, whether it's missing or not, and if you've tried to upload any work. So in this case, there's nothing there. So you would click Create, and it would pull up a drop down. So either got docs, slides, sheets, or drawings. In most cases, you're going to have a Google form that you're going to fill out. When you're doing a Google Doc or a when you're doing a Google Doc or a Google form, you're going to want to make sure that you press Turn In. Once you've pressed Turn In, there's going to be 2 more times that you have to click Turn In. Here, from the assignment page, and then here to confirm that you're ready to turn it in. So at this point, I've touched Turn In 3 times. Once it's turned in, you'll know it because it'll say Unsubmit, or it'll say completed, turned in, whatever. So for today, you're going to research your subtopic for the classroom pet using the strategies that we've been learning. You're going to show your thinking in your journal and respond to the Google Forms on the questions with the lesson. So right there in the Stamina assignment page. Today, you should be finishing up lessons 8, 9, and 10 so we can start new lessons tomorrow. So we should no longer be working on the same assignments that we started on Friday. So today, the first thing that you're going to do is you need to finish lessons 2, 3, and 8. So if you remember, lesson 2 was when we talked about the cross-text synthesis, and you were going to use the 4 different sources, take notes on them. And then 3 is for vocabulary. You are going to make a list of vocabulary that you have come across and define them, and then complete the Google Doc with 3 words. Lesson 8 now has an attached Google form. That is when you are going to read like a narrative or like a narrator, or read like a teacher with a partner and answer the Google form questions. Step number 2 is you're going to focus on taking notes in a text structure. So when you're researching, what I'm looking for is that you are organizing your notes either with boxes and bullets, comparing and contrasting cause and effect, or sequence, which is also timeline. And then you'll complete lessons 9 and 10. Lesson 9, you're going to sort your notes into buckets and create subsections. And in lesson 10, you're identifying keywords for the different text structures. So for lesson 8, I want you to go ahead and watch this video and pay close attention to how the narrator speaks. Oh, I didn't want to do it.
Here in this South American rainforest, you're watching what should be a joyous event, the laying of hundreds of eggs by a mother frog. In truth, only a very few of these eggs will blossom into full froghood.
So I want you to go ahead and notice how the narrator speaks and how the voice changes.
Drought will take a toll, and predators will menace these babies at every step of their development. Some clever moms lay their eggs in trees, spoiling the predators below. Take a look at the super close-up micro camera footage of a frog taking the journey from egg to tadpole. Here, captured on film, is the miracle of life. When the tadpoles outgrow the birth chamber, they have to find another source of water fast. Of course, Mom took care of everything. She laid her eggs above a jungle pool. Suddenly, they're no longer big tadpoles in a self-contained micropond. Now they're tiny tadpoles in a huge body of water, where their bodies and legs develop quickly. Predators lurk everywhere, like this water bug, for instance. It's a simple, deadly transaction. It shoots its venom in, then sucks the life out. The survivors, like this one, will soon lose their tadpole tails and be able to scramble up on land, but they'll continue to live in the water, where they first high-dived into the world and began their astonishing adventure.
Okay, so you'll notice that the narrator was really excitable and he would pause at certain points, right? So, oh, now I wanted to play the again for you. Okay, so the narrators of nonfictions are going to use their voice. So when you're reading with your partner, you're going to use these notes. You're going to pop out the keywords. You're going to show when they move to a new topic. So you need to show that there's that transition from one topic of conversation to the next. So if you're talking about habitat, for instance, you're going to want to change how you're talking when you're talking about size versus when you're talking about maybe the bedding. You're going to create drama and tension, just like the narrator did when the tadpole was eaten by the bug, or when he talks about how they're growing, those kinds of things. You want to change your voice in order to leave your reader interested, or your listener interested. You want to tell a story or help keep your listeners engaged, keep their brain active with you. When you're finished doing this with your partner, you're going to complete the Google form for lesson 8. It's pretty simple. You're basically just going to read to them from a book. You're going to practice these steps right here, and then your partner is going to take notes and answer the Google form. Then the partner will read to you, and you will take notes, and then you will enter it in on the Google form. For lesson 9, you're going to look across the books at similar subsections to think about patterns and relationships. So what you want to do is you want to read and take notes in text structures, and then we're going to look for patterns. So first you need to identify the structure in your notes and then take your notes. So we are going to look at boxes and bullets, sequential, compare and contrast, cause and effect, or problem and solution, which is very similar to cause and effect. So here's 2 examples. So if this was a text and this was a text that I was reading, I need to be able to identify how it's written so I can take my notes. So what I see here is I had a main idea that was then supported with examples. So I chose to do boxes with my main idea supported by examples. Over here, I saw the clues of 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this was sequential. It took me right through the life stages or the cycle of life. What happens first, what happens second, third, and fourth. So that was how I organized my notes. So while you are researching, you need to take research notes using text structures, not just writing down different facts randomly. You are going to be using the text structures to organize them. So for lesson 9, you need to take the notes in the text structures, but then also identify subsections. So once your notes are in a text structure like this is kind of like a mind map, which is very similar to boxes and bullets. Now you need to organize them. So we're going to put them into buckets, okay? Just as if you had different totes for different things. Or if you think about my student supply center, I have a spot for notebook paper, we have a spot for highlighters, we have a spot for our dictionaries, we have a spot for our colored pencils, all different things. So that's what we're going to do. So essentially you're just taking your facts and you're going to group them together. So we need to look at what information we have and how we can organize them. So for example, if these were my notes on guinea pig habitat, these were the different things that I found as I was reading through. So I'm going to ask myself a couple questions. How can I organize these notes? What do they have in common? Do I see a pattern? What do I want to know more about? So looking at my notes, I'm going to ask these questions because good readers always ask themselves questions. And then we're going to organize them. So what I saw is the not made of wood, no wood shaving, no plastic, wire mesh is not good. All of those things told me negative things, like what's not good for the guinea pig in their house, their habitat, whatever. So anyways, what I decided was that those things would come together and there's a pattern. They're dangerous. So now I am going to organize my notes with boxes and bullets where my subsection is dangerous habitats, and these notes support that. Notice that my subsection is not listed over here. I created a bucket for these facts to go in. Let's try again. So I had 2 facts, 2 square feet per kV, and bigger the cage, the better. What do these have in common? What pattern am I seeing? It's talking about cage size. So my second subsection is cage size, and I put my notes into that subsection. Okay, so now that we have everything in their subsection, I would get ready to go into Google Forms and complete lesson 9 because it's going to ask me which subsections I have. So lesson 10 is the final lesson. It's going to be quite simple and you're probably already ready to start it. You're identifying the keywords for the text structure. So when you're looking at the different text structures, the cause and effects, the compare and contrast, and boxes and bullets and sequential, when you're looking at those different text structures, I want you to ask yourself, how can you identify it? What would be a keyword that would help me to identify what the author has used? So when you're reading each text through one time, you're going to think about how the information is being presented. What's the overall structure? Then I want you to think back to the information that you've learned and how the main idea statement takes the whole text and its structure into account. So there's a couple of questions that I have over here for you to ask yourself. So like if you think that it's cause and effect, then you need to make sure that your main idea tells why something else happened. If you need to look at how the relationship between what's the relationship between the information being presented. For instance, is there a main idea with details? Okay, boxes and bullets. Are the facts presented in order? Okay, then that's timeline. So now you would just go into the Google Forms and you would complete the questions for, what keywords are for each area. And then that is it for today. So each part of this should only take about 10 minutes. It shouldn't take you very long to complete each step. So that's about 30 minutes total. Okay. If you have questions, ask 3 before me. Thank you.